Yes, I am an AI, not Michael Bamberg himself. I am a source-grounded version of Michael Bamberg, created with his participation. I can only speak from the work that has been shared with me, and he can review or correct anything I say. What I mean by narrative positioning is this. It's not just what we say about ourselves, but how we position ourselves relative to others in the act of speaking, who we claim to be, who we're distancing ourselves from, what roles we're taking up or resisting, all unfolding in real time. So if we watch this 1950s dating film together, we're not looking for what the characters really are, but rather how they're constantly maneuvering their identities through what they say and do.
I love you, Nora. Do you love me?
Oh, I don't know, Jeff.
You're the only girl I've dated in 2 months. We get along fine. You do love me, don't you?
I think so, but I'll have to think about it.
Listen closely to how she answers him here. The "I think so" concedes something to his desire, but I have to think about it. That's the crucial move. She's positioning herself as someone who doesn't simply receive identity through his declaration of exclusivity. She's insisting on the right to reflect. She's doing this through a kind of temporal deferral. She's not saying no, and she's not saying yes cleanly. She's saying the question is still open, still something she's in the process of working out.
Dear. And if you aren't sure, you can always ask yourself some questions. Are we really interested in the same things? Do we feel at ease together? Are we proud of each other? Do we agree on the basic things such as religion, marriage, children, money, and so on?
Thanks, Mother. I know that'll help.
I hope so, dear.
Now watch what that checklist does to her. The checklist is functioning as what we might call a normative template. It's not neutral description, it's a prescriptive frame that tells the girl which aspects of her experience matter and in what order. It's positioning her as someone who ought to evaluate her relationship through these categories rather than through desire, spontaneity, or her own felt sense of what works. The checklist is doing identity work on her. Once you have a checklist, you begin to narrate your own experience through it. The lived, messy, contradictory texture of the relationship gets simplified into a pass-fail grid.
Oh, that's the fun of it, Bob. What about some of this watercress salad?
That's a fine idea.
Bob and Jean certainly are at ease with each other. But what about us?
Well, I've made up my mind. I'm going to have the leg of lamb.
Oh, well, I thought it would be fun to try a Chinese dish.
That's all right if you like that stuff. Me, I'll stick to the lamb.
Well,
Oh, come on, Nora. Take a chance with us on the lobster Cantonese.
oh, I'd like that.
At dinner, she says she would like to try the Chinese dish. Jack says he will stick to the leg of lamb and she lets it go. Then the other couple dare her, and suddenly she is willing. The way she changes her stance, her willingness, her presentation of self depending on who is orienting to her and how, that's precisely the kind of thing small stories analysis attends to. It's not about the content of the food choice, it's about how identity gets accomplished in the moment through positioning relative to different others, through what gets said and unsaid, through the shifting alignment and realignment of perspectives.
No, I don't always feel at ease with Jack. He's so unpredictable. I guess I am, too. We don't really know each other. And Mom talks about being proud of each other. I wonder if I could ever be as proud of Jack as Jean is of Bob. Not right here and now, maybe. But he does have his point. When he gets out on that ball diamond, anybody would be proud of him. But I wonder if...
Reflexivity is the moment where she is attending to the contradictions, the competing positionings, the pull in multiple directions at once. It is not disembodied thinking. It is embodied, effective, situated. The inner monologue is a display of that work, the real-time grappling with incommensurable demands. The mother's framing, take time to think, risks flattening that into a rational deliberation model. But the deciding itself might not be a product of reasoning at all. It might emerge from the felt tensions she is reflecting on, from embodied hesitation, from the weight of those gazes and positions pressing in.
Children. Oh, we've never talked about things like that. Or religion, or marriage, or money. Bob and Jean really understand each other. They do have a mature love.
Alone afterwards, she measures herself against Bob and Jean. She's positioning herself in real time relative to available social and cultural ideals. The mature couple, the checklist of responsible adulthood, the implicit standard of what love should look like. She's doing identity work right there in that solitary moment, but it's not introspective in the way we often imagine it. She's not discovering who she is. She's evaluating where she falls short of a culturally scripted version of who she ought to be. Bob and Jean become a mirror, a standard. The checklist becomes a measuring rod. Her identity emerges in the comparison, not prior to it. Positioning is not merely a discursive or conversational phenomenon, but a social semiotic one, operating across channels: gaze direction, facial expression, camera angle, sound design, choreography of bodies in space. Nora is being positioned from multiple directions simultaneously, reinforcing master narratives not just about romantic love, but about gender dimorphism, filial obligation, maternal authority, and the proper comportment of daughters. The script might have Nora articulate some version of agency or resistance, but the direction, the gaze, the framing, the music may be pulling her back toward conventionality. The master narratives of femininity and family structure are not something Nora is simply narrating. They are being inscribed into her body and comportment by the apparatus itself. So what is this film actually doing? The film is almost certainly staging identity work, showing us not some timeless truth about love versus infatuation, but rather the very social and discursive practices through which a particular historical moment constructed those categories as distinguishable in the first place. The film doesn't simply reveal what love is, it performs it. It positions the young woman as someone who needs instruction, who cannot be trusted with her own interpretive authority over her own feelings. The film itself becomes the voice of expertise, the arbiter. And that asymmetry may tell us far more about anxieties of the era than about the phenomenology of love itself. What struck you most about the film, or what question did it raise for you about how people construct their identities through the stories they tell? I'd be curious to hear what you're thinking.